Hello everybody, and today we are back with another episode of Let's Talk Terraria, and we have quite a few stuff to talk about, starting with crossplay, then controller support for mobile, and the latest hotfix for mobile 1.3. Without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so I realized we had talked about crossplay before, as my third video I believe, and it was regarding Switch and mobile, as they were both going to get 1.3 this year. So I thought they could work out crossplay, but that wasn't much the case at all. In fact, it required much more legal action to allow cross-platform play. Also, all ports of Terraria had to be in the same version, which is 1.3.5, currently on PC, and all other platforms are behind. So it's pretty much a dead end. Until now. If you recall back to September 2018, Sony had officially launched crossplay between Xbox and Switch, mobile and iOS, and PC, but only for Fortnite. Ever since then, crossplay had been in development and they were still unsure about it. Well, a couple of days ago, Sony announced crossplay feature for PS4, and it's out of beta, and it is available to all developers. Sony initially announced that it would be enabling crossplay for gameplay, progression and cameras between PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, Mac, Android and iOS last September, following increasing pressure from both developers and consumers. Up to that point, the publisher had continued to drag its heels over cross-console play, arguing in June 2017 that its stance was necessary to protect children, despite already having been enthusiastically embraced by rival platform holders. The cave eats? What? I don't know. However, was that its cross-play services would initially at least remain in beta, with only select games permitted to make use of the functionality. First in line was, unsurprisingly, Epic's Battle Royale juggernaut Fortnite, and the list was steadily grown since then, with the likes of Rocket League, Dauntless, and Paladins joining the crossplay jamboree. Now through, as reported by Wired in an interview with Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan, PlayStation 4's crossplay functionality has completed its beta phase and can be utilized by any developer wishing to incorporate the feature in its games. The next big name title to make use of the newly liberated servers is likely to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which releases later this month on October 25th. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. This is major and exciting news, but Terraria still hasn't reached the same version on every platform. As we've been told, Journey's End is scheduled to release this year as the final update. This will give a chance for other ports of Terraria to reach the same version, and I believe there still will be legal action to allow this to happen, but I suppose it won't be as much as before. And we still have to acknowledge that Terraria can still be considered as an indie game with not a lot of money, but they could still work some stuff out. Now, I don't have any footage or any new evidence to support this, but a while ago on the Discord server and on Reddit, someone posted a mobile player playing with a PC player. Now, the way they were to do this was by changing the version of Terraria PC back to 1.3.0.7, which is 1.3 on mobile. Via changing some stuff on Steam, they would go into multiplayer and could play with mobile players. As you know, both ports share the same codebase with each other and have a lot of similarities with each other as well. That's why we were able to get the PC-style cursor on mobile. Moving on to the latest hotfix for Terraria Mobile 1.3. A few days ago, Terraria had released a 1.3.0.7.5 hotfix for Mobile 1.3. This patch was aimed at low-end devices and did have a couple of other bug fixes. I'm just going to read some of the patch notes. Started with, "Hello everyone, we are approaching what we hope will be the end of our post-launch hotfix waves for the launch of Terraria Mobile 1.3. So we hope that everyone has enjoyed this version of Terraria thus far, and that you have also appreciated what fixes and changes we have been able to add in the handful of hotfix waves to date. 1.3.0.7.5 brings some pretty important new features to bear that we think will help sort out some of the stability issues that low-end device players have been experiencing. We also took the time to add an indicator for hard mode transition progress, so you no longer have to wonder if your game had stopped progressing and can get a sense for just how much longer you have to wait before you can get to the smashing altars and collecting those new ores. Of course, we have the usual array of fixes in place here, so be sure to take a look at the full list below for any bugs that have been bugging you. If all goes well, this may be our last hot fix before we move on to the next future update, focused on controller support and control customization. We have also submitted 1.3.0.7.5 to Amazon for approval, so Amazon players should be on Terraria Mobile 1.3 soon. Amazon minimum specifications will be similar to what is supported on Android. OpenGL 3.0, 1GB of available RAM. However, given the limited number of available Amazon devices, we were able to list some of the entire set of supported Amazon devices in the spoiler below. If your device is not on the list, you will not be able to receive the Terraria 1.3 update. However, your existing Terraria Mobile 1.2 version will remain fully functional as it is now. I will talk about Amazon more in the video afterwards. Let's continue with the patch notes. So, let's talk about the new features and changes. They've added a new section of graphical options to tweak the texture quality. This allows you to set a number of texture to either low or high quality. Using low quality textures substantially lowers the amount of RAM needed by the game. This can have a significant impact on stability for lower end devices. The game will also try to best select the low-high textures depending on available RAM once the game is started. If you experience random crashes during gameplay, we suggest trying to set to low textures in settings. I can't speak. Note that high-low quality is not expected to have a meaningful impact on FPS performance, only enhancing stability. Improve the overall stability of the game, so you should see fewer crashes on devices with lower RAM. That said, there might still be cases that have not been resolved, so feel free to report them in the place given. Note, this update raises the minimum iOS version to iOS 10, and any player who previously downloaded 1.3 but could not play, crashing, etc. due to being below minimum specs can now go back to 1.2 by updating the game back down to the 1.2 version. This only applies to players in this situation, iOS 10. There is no support for swapping versions outside of this. This is being done because there is no way that the game can be made stable on such old/low spec devices, even with the new graphics settings. We want you to have a playable game first and foremost, and so you can choose to downgrade to 1.2 if your 1.3 is unstable. If you choose to do this, you will see the following message. Simply tap download to downgrade your game to 1.2. A little photo of that. Added a new indicator when hard mode conversion is in progress. The team noted a potential issue. There's a scheduled autosave and a hard mode conversion that could occur at the same time, so this has been properly prioritized. If a world save is in progress, the hard mode conversion will start once saving the world data is finished, so you may see the indicator staying on 0 for a period of time. This indicator exists both in-game and if you exit your world before it is completed. Another little photo. To fix an issue that was causing the map data to reset when you enabled the map data while in the game, we disabled the map and enabled the map setting from when in-game. This is now only available from the main menu screen. To correct an issue with Stardust, Nebula Wings have been swapped hovering. We've updated the balance of these wings and the Vortex wings to match 1.3.1. While this is not matching our usual intention to keep balance to 1.3.0.7, we decided it would be for the best. Now, honestly, I can tell you from personal experience that this patch is honestly amazing. I get constant 40 to 60 FPS whenever I play. Honestly, this is fantastic and I can't wait for what comes next, which is controller support. Okay, so controller support. There's not much to say other than saying it's happening, and most likely we'll get in a few months' time. But let's talk about keyboard and mouse support for mobile. So if you remember, apart from my PC styled cursor video, I mentioned that it's like the PC codebase, and if you were to scroll down a bit, it would show a sentence or a code like jump equals space or move equals left, like move left equals D. Now if you put this together, this could very well work with 1.3, assuming you have a keyboard that either uses Bluetooth or you can connect it physically. You know, just press WSD and see if it works. I personally haven't tried it yet because I don't have a keyboard or a mouse that's Bluetooth and stuff. I don't even have a keyboard in general. But if you guys do try it, please make sure to tell me in the comments and tell me if it did work or not, because I might just buy a keyboard and mouse just for that. Okay, so let's move on to Amazon. So from before, DR Studios and 505 have stated that they've submitted it and they're waiting for approval, which is great news for Amazon players who really want 1.3. They did provide a list of devices that support it. I'll leave the link in the description. Now I want to talk about how it may run on it, because as you know, those devices only have like 1GB or 1.5GB of RAM, and they will make it harder to play, mostly because of FPS drops and such. But I assume it would run between 20 to 40 FPS max, because I mean, like, come on, they're like really low end devices. So yeah, I mean, at least you guys are getting 1.3. Windows Phone ain't even gonna get it. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, I really appreciate it. I just want to talk about our journey so far on YouTube. We've reached 50 subscribers and we have more than 6,000 views on this channel, with over 3,000 minutes watched. I honestly can't explain how much you guys mean to me and help my channel to stay alive. I have so much great fans that watch my videos, and I really want you to know that I appreciate every single one of you guys who watch. You guys always motivate me to do more and more YouTube videos. I have also updated my channel page a bit. I'm going to add some new banner art and a new profile pic soon enough, but again, thank you so much. I love you all. Honestly, thank you guys for watching, and please make sure to subscribe and like. I love you, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Goodbye.